Robin is sick, and she insisted I broadcast pre-class.
Broadcast Preclass. Okay.
It's like, all right. Well, thank you, man. It's gotta look fly for Robin. Hi, Robin. Oh, she's not there yet. That's awkward.
Whoops. Would it be more awkward if she wasn't there?
I don't know. I feel like her and I are friends, so she wouldn't like. Yeah, I don't know. That's a very good point.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry.
Robin. Hey.
Ah.
Oh. Hello. Oh.
Hi.
Hi.
Oh, yeah. You're the best, Harris.
That's strange. We can't hear you. You're probably because you're on a projector.
I can hear you.
Hi.
Yeah, this is your dining TV. Yes, that's good.
Alright. Cool.
Lovely.
I am going to.
You're the best. Oh my god.
Screen share. Entire screen. Share.
Holy shit,
Okay.
that's crazy.
Unless you want to set aesthetic.
Present to everyone.
Playbook.
Cool.
You can point out the height of this.
Newsletters.
Code.
No, you
Hacker you. Part-time Rails. Move to trash. Cool. All right. Anyone have any questions? Cool. There's just one random thing that I ended up doing over the weekend for a project that I thought, hey, this might be useful for some peeps. Sometimes you realize you have a lot of gunk in your app, and you kind of just want to get rid of everything. Not trying to clean things up, but just be like, throw it away, like the entire weird database that you have, and you want to sort of like start the database stuff from scratch. So I'm just gonna Rails new Preclass. Sorry, that's all. Always takes a wee bit.
Beetles are killing Delbert.
CD Preclass, Sublime. Amazing. So I'm going to do Rails G scaffold post name title string content is text, and that's it. Whatever. Just going to go with those two things. So I'm going to show a couple things. First of all, have we looked at the seed file at all? Do you know what the seed file is? Ish? Cool. So there's a file in your app called the seeds.rb file. The essential purpose of this is to allow you to rapidly create a bunch of entries in your app. Let's say I'm working on a project with Simon, and we want to test something in particular. Let's say, like a blog app, but we're testing paging, right? So instead of me or anyone else who continues to jump on the project, instead of making them create like 50 blog posts every single friggin' time, you can use something called the seed file to quickly generate a bunch of data on your app. It doesn't only have to be for local environments. Let's say you're pushing your app to production, and users have the ability to select their location. And your location is a list of, let's say, like 300 locations. You don't want to deploy to Heroku and then go to the admin side and be like, add new thingy, blah, blah, blah. That's just going to take you forever. and it's ridiculous. So you can use something like the seeds file. Super, super helpful. So I just need to rakedb migrate first. Rakedb migrate. I just scaffolded a post, just so keep things nice and simple. And all posts have, if I go to the schema file, they have a title and some content. That's pretty much it. So if I go back to my seeds file, it's super easy. They've given you almost like a little example of the syntax of how you do it. It's pretty much the exact lines of code you would type into your console to create a new item. Your app is going to be able to grab each one of these and run these in sequence as though you're typing these out in console and create whatever items you want. So we've done, like p is equal to post.new, p.title is equal to whatever. So you can do all that stuff here and just like run it essentially in your app, which is pretty neat. So for the post stuff, let's do that. So I'm going to say post.create, and our post requires like 2 parameters, a title and some content. So I'm also going to, actually I don't need to do that. I'm going to say title, first post, and content, lipsum 30. Amazing. So I now have this post that's going to show up in my app. Cool. And I can, not duplicate blank lines, but duplicate a whole bunch of these thingies, first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh. Cool. Amazing. So I have this. I go back to my app, say Rails S. Let's see how things are looking. I go to local 3000. I haven't set up my routes properly, so we should land here instead. But I can go to posts and see our listing of posts. And see our listing of... Ideally we should, but so far there's nothing. So we've created the seed file, but we haven't actually executed the seed file, which is cool. So you actually have to ask your app to run the seed file and generate all of this data. So let's say I commit this to my app, and Simon pulls his app down. He's going to be working on this with it for me. He doesn't want to have to create a whole bunch of stuff. So what Simon can do is, let me zoom this in. Oh damn, too much. Is say break db seed. So it says, hey, seed the database. And if I hit enter, it should go through and run all of those commands in sequence. And it should come back as, you won't see any notice. There's a way to add comments in those also, so you can see what it is that's being built. But ideally, if I start my Rails server again, and I go back to my app and I refresh, amazing. I've got all my fake data. This could be legitimate data that you end up using in your app for locations like I mentioned, for example, or other predefined, like a list of tags or something like that. You can just seed those so you don't have to worry about making those manually. Rake db seed. I'll write it out, rake db seed.
It's not like it's in there.
Cool. So let's say I go in and I muck things up and I completely ruin my app or my database, for example, and there's something that's just not right. There's ways to completely drop the entire database and start from a brand new, fresh database and run all your migrations again from scratch. So just I don't know what happened. I totally messed it up. I have some, in my schema file, for example, if I go back to my schema file, it's oh shit, I don't know what happened, merge conflict. Fuck, I deleted half of my stuff. I don't something's wrong with my schema stuff. So if I do Rails S, this will probably explode and give me lots of errors, or I'm not going to have a fun time running my app. So let's see what ends up happening. Refresh. So it shows. But ideally, it wouldn't, because you have people have worked on different stuff, blah blah blah, whatever. So I'm just gonna do that. What you would do is you can go back here, and you can say rake db drop. That says, hey, drop my entire database. Please don't do this in production. But rake db drop. If I drop it, my database does not exist anymore. It's gone. So if I go look at my schema, what the? Where am I? Okay. Okay. Back it up. There's ways to back it up. It's oh yeah, there's like Heroku has like production level Postgres snapshots, so you can it's very, very easy to do, and it downloads it as like a little file that you can like save on your computer to just have as like a backup of your database. So I dropped my entire database. I need to rebuild it. So you say rake db create. This brings in a fresh instance of your database. In this case, SQLite. Amazing. If I go into my app, and if I do post.all, I'm going to get an error because completely because completely dropping your entire database and creating like a brand new one, it's as though you haven't run any migrations at all. So you have to make sure you do that. Rake db migrate. So run through all of your migrations again. Amazing. And then right now we have no fake data or like no test data, so I can just do rake db seed. Amazing. So within like 4 lines of code, we can completely get rid of our yucky test database and like build it from scratch, rerun the migrations, and seed in some fake data, and Rails S, and voila. We have everything still working amazingly, fantastically well. Cool. Cool.
Just more pluralizations.
My goodness. Do you have any suggestions?
No.
We've been a little bit overboard last time. That was awesome. Hang on. What happens if you have lots of Michaels? Lame.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like Mike High.
Michelle's.
Amazing. All right, well, that's, yeah, cool. So yeah, that's super, super helpful. I use it often. It's pretty handy dandy. Is anyone running into any particular issues? Are you guys tackling a particular task that you are wondering if a gem exists for? Or what the best route would be to go about achieving something that you think might also be enlightful for everyone else in the class? Robin, if you have questions, you can, by all means, ping me also. Maggie, what's up?
I was thinking of what JavaScript I was wondering what file needs to be changed.
Could you, so for Bootstrap, you're wondering what files need to be changed in order to use the JavaScript stuff that comes with Bootstrap? Ideally, nothing should need to be changed.
So, are you using Bootstrap gem to bring into it? So there's a Bootstrap gem.
Yeah.
And once you have that, it will show up on the page for that gem. So basically,
Yep.
you would include the gem, then your application document. You would just say like require Bootstrap. So I use Bootstrap SaaS, but
Yeah, sure.
can you just go to Bootstrap Rails? But I think we'll use less.
Sure,
Less, but whatever.
we'll run through
So
this.
just roll down to Bootstrap SaaS. Gives you instructions. You basically need to.
Yeah, we're using Bootstrap.
Sorry.
We're using Bootstrap.
Yes, just go through the instructions.
Yep, so we can run through. It's not too shabby. So for those on the stream, mainly Ms. Lawson, the question was asked, is there anything that you need to do in order to support the JavaScript stuff that comes along with Bootstrap or any other of those required dependencies. So Ryan suggested that the gem that he uses is the bootstrap-stas gem. So I'm just going to grab these two. Let's go to our gem file and paste in our gems. Bundle install. Damn it. Bundle install. Oh, hang on. SAS Rails already exists somewhere here. Don't need that because SAS Rails is here. Something that comes in by default with Rails. So all we need to do is include Bootstrap SAS. All right. Bundle install. Get the GemLMs. Get all the GemLMs. Right? Auto prefix for Rails.
GemLM?
Oh yeah, another handy gem.
Auto prefix there.
Auto prefixers for Rails for all you fancy pants CSS folk. Yeah. Bring this into your project. It's very nice. Cool. So let's continue on. So after you've installed, after you've bundled installed with the Bootstrap gem, you need to bring in all the SAS stuff for your CSS and also any of the dependencies that you need for the interaction stuff, like the drop-down, blah, 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 like the JavaScript-y stuff. So the instructions are pretty cool, pretty straightforward. We have to drop both of these two lines into our application.scss. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Oh, application SCSS, and I am going to put them here. Then remove. Oh, yeah. Do not use required. So blah 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 blah. So if we go to application.js. It says we need to add in Bootstrap sprockets. That's it. You should now have any of the bootstrappy SAS and JavaScript stuff that you need for the app. Let me change the color scheme. Gotcha, man. Yep. Sure, this is painful. There you go. Nice. Your eyes look at peace now. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Oh, damn. For those of you who are super fancy pants and use Bower, you can do a whole bunch of this crazy pants stuff. Crazy pants. So yes, Bootstrap, pretty straightforward and nice to use. Does anyone have any questions? Haha. Prophet Zune, okay? Killing it? Mr. Klein? Bootstrap? Did you see purple? Did you see what purple was? Did I show you purple? Uh-huh. So Heroku built an entire visual layer on top of Bootstrap. So use the same classes and whatnot, but they've essentially restyled Bootstrap even further. So it's, you know, more purpley, follows their color scheme instead, follows their styling and their typography. So if you want an instantaneous, you know, change in your app and you're fine with the way like this looks, it's kind of sexy. I really like it, the whole purple and magenta vibe. You literally just have to bring this file in after you bring Bootstrap. It just overrides a bunch of styles that Bootstrap has, which is pretty cool. Or you could go in, like, you know, be really thorough and get rid of any of the styles from Bootstrap that you don't need. That's like, you know, a lot more painstaking. If you just want to get things going super fast, you can just add this on top of it. Keep using, like, you know, it still uses btn-default. Those are all Bootstrap class names. And you'll just start having buttons that look way sexier as opposed to the default Bootstrap stuff. if that's something that you care for. Pretty nice stuff. Pretty nice stuff. Amazing. Well, there are a few other gems. Will paginate. Will paginate, an extremely easy gem to use if you want to start working on paging things. You know, working on your blog, you've got 300 blog posts, you don't want to show them all on the index page, you want to page your stuff. Will paginate, extremely simple gem to use, and gets paging working within like 10 minutes. Highly recommend this if you plan on going a little bit bananas. Yeah, it is literally like 2 things that you add and a couple modifications you make in your actual view file, and you're good to go. So highly recommend Will paginate. I will paste this in the class channel. Pagination gem. Amazing. What else did I? Yep, this one is a little bit more painful, like a little more complicated than the paging stuff. The paging stuff is super easy. This is, so for example, if I go here and I click on show the second posting, oh damn, if I had my server on, you would see it. The URL is /posts/2. Now, ideally for, if you're a fancy pants SEO person or just to make shit not look like rubbish, you would ideally not want your URL to be, hey, check out my new blog post at benweddle.com/2. It's kind of ridiculous. So there's an awesome gem. I don't know if the Gens pack they use something else, but Friendly ID is essentially a gem that helps you prettify your URLs, essentially. So you can tell it, hey, use this particular data attribute for these models and as the URL instead of using their index. Right now, by default, just uses like / their index number. So you can change it to say, hey, use the name instead, or the title of whatever. So if you have users, sort of like how, when you go to Facebook, I can do facebook.com/harsmood89. So you can start putting...
Permalinks?
Sure, yeah, it's exactly like you can choose whether you want to show the ID or like break it down according to the month, blah blah blah, all that stuff. You can get pretty crazy and like do that also. Like for example, over here it says try building the slug based on the following fields in the increasing order of specificity. Okay, maybe this wasn't what I wanted to show. I forget. Yeah, there's ways where you can like tack multiple things on and make like a super specific URL, how WordPress allows you to do also. Like ideally you don't really need to do that, but for example on my site I have this set up also. If I go to just dev and resources, and it's so amazing, like the gem strips out any of the unfriendly web characters. So for example, my title was called design plus, like the plus symbol, and it just switched it to design-dev-resources. So it's able to strip out any like quotes or any weird syntax things that URLs can't normally handle, and just makes it super clean and super efficient to use. So it's very nice. I like it lots. Friendly ID. Make your URLs pretty. Yeah. Permalinks. What else was there? Let's just see if... Nothing. Cool. Cool. What else was there? What else did we use? I found this handy JavaScript plugin. This is pretty nice, especially for our blog. This is called Share Button by some dudes called Carrot. I don't know why. But what Carrot is a super simple way to add sharing capabilities to your app. So even though it's JavaScript, it's very easy to integrate into your app. So for example, you end up getting a button like this. Pretty swanky. Pretty swanky. So insanely easy to use. Just bring in a JavaScript file. I did this for a project over the weekend. Insanely simple, and you just add this into your JavaScript stuff, and you can pass in specific parameters. So hang on, let's actually go to the. Oh, I was right there before. So yeah, so you have something like this in your JavaScript. You're just creating a new shareable thingy, and you give it a specific class name. So every post would just have this thing called share button. Automatically styles it by default, automatically animates it and gives it the click effects by default also. And you have customization options if you need to. Configuration options, these are awesome. So this is where you can start passing in additional information. Your specific Facebook URL for your page, what you would like it to say. When someone hits that tweet button, what should that pre-built tweet say? Does all of it. Insanely cool. So it's sort of like, we click the tweet button and says, hey, check out what I found, and it's already there by default as sort of like a pre-structured tweet that you can have your SEO friend experts tell you what is the most ideal thing to do. Super dope. I love it. Definitely check it out. I'll paste this in also. Awesome sharing JS plugin. For those of you who like things that are a little bit more on the fun side, because, why the hell not? Oh, stop it, Ben. Does anyone know what the Konami code thing is?
Oh, yeah.
Did anyone play any old school Sega or Nintendo games? Hang on, what is it? Vogue.co.uk, I think, do this. Yeah, it's like. Oh, hey. Up, up, down, down. Left, right, A, B.
Enter.
Oh, what the? Debug initted? What? We are not fixed. We are fixed. No way. I found their debugging thing. That's kind of ridiculous. Normally, their debug stuff doesn't open up. Normally, maybe it's .com.
No, it's okay.
Up, down, down, left, right, A, B.
I got the debug, but I did that too.
That is so weird. Well, you can pretty much make whatever you want happen. There's websites that have, switches to a special, unique, I don't know, like an Easter egg or whatever. You can do all sorts of weird stuff. I found a site that you would Konami code and would actually take you to the game Contra, made by Konami, which was amazing. So it's pretty dope. Yeah, so do some weird Konami code stuff, guys. Konami code, because why not? One awesome thing that I also found, since we're all doing user signups, there's a awesome plugin called MailCheck, and what that essentially does, for example, someone types in user@hotmail.com, it says, did you mean Hotmail?
Ooh.
Just, making your user experience a little bit more sexy. You don't really want someone signing up with Hotmail.
Like the vote.
Go back to Vogue? Oh, God.
So AB is the debug, BA is Raptors.
Oh!
BA? Yeah.
What?
Up, down, down.
Up, down, down, left, right, B, A. What the hell, start?
Enter.
There you go! Amazing! Raptor with a hat. It's the best.
It's different every time.
Up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. Swanky! Hilarious. Do that, please. You didn't see? Up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. Ah, shit. It's so stupid, but so good. It's a different hat every time. Entertainment. Forever. Sorry? No, it's a raptor just with a different hat. Up, down, down, left, right, B, A, start. No, you have to add it to your app. Bow tie. Or hair bow. Whatever. Hair bow? That's not a word. Ladies, help me out. Hair, one that looks like a bow. Maybe a headband. Yeah, cool. So yes, do that. So yes, this is amazing. It helps just make your user experience for signing up a lot nicer. This is pretty neat. Mail check. So yeah, help. I'm posting all of these in the class channel. Help with registration experience. Awesome. And there was one more. There's one more. What was it called? Oh yeah. jQuery input. I don't know why I closed it. Yeah. So when you're collecting, more information, making the user's life easier is awesome. Okay, this is not the one I was looking at. Now where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go?
Move out of beta? You're fucking not even in
Don't take me to
beta.
syntax. Damn it! Yeah, this is okay, I'll just show you the first one. Oh, there we go. Yeah, there we go. So you can create something, another jQuery plugin to create masks for your fields. So if you're expecting someone to put in a phone number as you're typing, it'll just make it really nice. So 123 112, yeah. And if you start typing more, it deletes it by itself, so you don't fuck up. I love it. It's great. If it's a date and you're typing in words, it'll just keep deleting it because it doesn't believe you. And you can customize all of these types of fields and make it very, very specific to your app. Whatever it is you're requesting. So for you guys, if you have a specific length of key for your party room, you can enforce that they only type in that many keys, or something like that. Very nice. Form masks. Form input masks. All right. I know you're still working on your logic stuff. I definitely recommend you focus on that for sure. But every now and then, if you need a break to get some time, you're waiting for your partners to catch up a little bit and do some merge stuff, look into playing around with this, especially the Konami code. That holds first priority. Amazing. All right, and since I have you on Skype, I'll just wait for you to get set up, and I'll do it there.
Do what? Where?
The project stuff.
Are we doing demo?
Nope, starts next week, but I'm going to announce the list, get people started.
Okay, cool. Are you doing, sorry, do you want to do it now?
Sure, yeah, I was just going to make sure that if anyone was watching this stream, they would hear also.
Yeah, here. Do you want me to share mine?
Yes. I'm going to close mine.
Streams.